Today on NewsWatch, Mike Pence takes the helm of the Trump transition team. Find out why Ben Carson is out and why Ted Cruz may play a big role in the Trump administration. Plus, Christian leaders are comparing Donald Trump to King Cyrus in the Bible, why they say God picked him for this moment in history. And outnumbered co-host Stacey Dash talks about the tweet that put her on Hollywood's hit list and why so many people are calling her clueless. Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Charlene Aaron. President-elect Donald Trump is huddling with his transition team working to fill key positions in his cabinet. Mike Pence is helping to lead that project now as two more members of Trump's team are now out. Dale Hurd has the story.
While Donald Trump has been out of the public eye, he posted on Twitter, "Very organized process taking place as I decide on cabinet and many other positions."
You're accomplished today.
One of the first moves by the leader of the transition team, Vice President-elect Mike Pence, was to purge any lobbyist from official roles, making good on a campaign promise. And the Trump team is reshuffling. Gone is advisor and former Congressman Mike Rogers, although he simply said his work was done. He's been replaced by former Reagan administration official Frank Gaffney. And presidential candidate Ben Carson turned down a cabinet job, saying he preferred to work from outside the government, but he will probably still be an unofficial advisor to the new president. And there are reports Trump is considering Ted Cruz for Attorney General. The two met Tuesday. One pick being picked at by the media and the Democrats is campaign strategist Steve Bannon, head of Breitbart.com, a conservative news outlet accused by the left of catering to white nationalists.
People didn't vote for Donald Trump so that he could bring a white supremacist into the White House.
Breitbart not only disagrees with that label, the Hill website reports Breitbart plans to sue an unnamed news organization over it. On Capitol Hill, where many Republican lawmakers spent the past year avoiding Trump, they're now rushing to get on the Trump train. And House Republicans re-elected their entire leadership team, including Speaker Paul Ryan.
Welcome to the dawn of a new, unified Republican government.
The Democrats, now with greatly reduced political power in Washington, are trying to chart a new course. They postponed their leadership election and could oust Nancy Pelosi as minority leader. But congressional Republicans, with a lot of wind in their sails and an ambitious agenda, are getting ready to hit the ground running when Trump takes office, taking on Obamacare and promising, among many other things, the most ambitious overhaul of the tax code in 3 decades. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Well, one sign of backlash against all the anti-Trump protests in the country, Republican Iowa State Representative Bobby Kaufman has introduced a new bill he calls the Suck It Up Buttercup Bill. It was inspired after protesters held up drivers on Interstate 80 in Iowa.
You've got a right to be a brat. You've got a right to protest. That's constitutionally protected. But you do not have a right to throw a temper tantrum on Interstate 80 and put my constituents' lives in danger.
Kaufman wants the state's House Oversight Committee to fine Iowa colleges for any tax dollars that are spent on, quote, cry rooms for those upset over the election. Well, lawmakers in the District of Columbia have approved a bill that allows terminally ill patients to end their lives with the help of a doctor. The D.C. Council overwhelmingly passed the measure to allow patients with 6 months or less to live to request lethal drugs from their doctors. Opponents expressed concern that poor people would be pushed to end their lives prematurely rather than undergo costly treatment. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowers has pledged to veto the legislation. While many evangelical voters helped to elect Donald Trump, and now some Christian leaders are comparing him to a biblical king named Cyrus. Chris Mitchell explains.
Author and speaker Lance Wallnau met Donald Trump several months before the election.
I had the strangest sense that I was dealing with something different. I was dealing with someone who wasn't an evangelical Christian, who was anointed for an assignment. And I didn't know where to go with that. So I went home, and all that I heard the Lord say is, Donald Trump is a wrecking ball to the spirit of political correctness.
Wallnau compared Trump to the Persian king Cyrus cited in the Bible. Cyrus decreed the Jews living in captivity in ancient Babylon could return to Israel and rebuild their temple.
He came in, this king, as a secular ruler and decreed for the building of the house of the Lord. He literally made it possible for the Jews to end the captivity. And I'm reading on, it says, he will break through the two leaves gates of Babylon. I'm going, well, there's your wrecking ball.
He says history is filled with secular rulers, appointed by God for unique seasons.
He anoints them for their assignment. And then it's obvious if you think about it. You're stuck with the reality of history. Does God put people into the crucible of history who are not your favorite Christian candidate, but who in the end was perfectly anointed for the task?
Walno also believes Trump's idea of a wall to protect America has a biblical parallel.
I feel the whole emphasis on building a wall really is building again in America the capacity for self-government. We have no government over our sexual propensities. We have no government over our fiscal appetite. We have no government over our relations between police and minorities. We're a nation that is radically losing its ability for self-government, and with that comes the privileges of self-government. So the wall that Trump's talking about is a metaphor like Nehemiah. We have to rebuild moral self-control and self-restraint.
He thinks the dangerous world of today needs a strong leader, and he believes Trump can guide America through international storms. And he points out Trump has forged a unique relationship with Christians.
Trump, for some strange reason, loves evangelicals. I mean, it's peculiar. He has more confidence in what Christians can do in America than Christians have in what Christians can do. And he sees them as a missing piece.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Many schools across the country make community service a mandatory part of the curriculum. But one school is drawing the line when it comes to students who help religious organizations. The University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire has denied 2 students their community credit hours because they volunteered at a church. University officials said although they respect students' religious beliefs, they will not award credit for time spent in, quote, promoting religious doctrine, proselytizing, or worship. The Alliance Defending Freedom filed a lawsuit on behalf of the students. ADF legal counsel Travis Barham said no public university should ever use a community service program as a vehicle to advance and instill anti-religious bias. If the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire wants to require its students to perform community service, it must treat all forms of community service as equally valuable. Well, it's as good a time as any to read the Bible. In fact, maybe better because this is National Bible Week. As Paul Strand reports from Capitol Hill, even Congress got in the act of diving into the scriptures.
Of our nation, it is, Mr. Speaker, this Bible. It speaks to the greatness of God.
Congress noted this is the 75th year America has marked National Bible Week. For the special anniversary, several representatives took to the House floor to share some favorite scriptures.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night.
Colorado Congressman Doug Lamborn sponsored the event.
President Abraham Lincoln once said of the Bible, in regard to this great book, I have but to say it is the best gift God has given to man.
The head of the National Bible Association told CBN News Americans need to be reminded the Bible is there and it matters.
Probably about a third of us are reading the Bible regularly. So it's important to stop and remember this is a gift. Now, people in the Soviet Union that I worked with didn't have Bibles. They lived, they had to meet in the forest or meet in secret gatherings, and they would share the word that way.
It offers us hope when circumstances are dire and is a source of strength.
National Bible Week isn't just some ceremony or event. It's a solid nationwide reminder that the Bible's important, life-changing. In fact, as the Gospel of John tells us, the Word is God. Paul Strand, CBN News, Capitol Hill.
Cliff Barrows, the longtime music director for the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, has died at age 93. For decades, Barrows regularly led worship at Billy Graham crusades around the world. His directing helped prepare the hearts of thousands to receive the gospel. In his later years, Barrows stayed involved with the ministry, hosting the Hour of Decision radio program for nearly 60 years. Yet Barrows says he never forgot the thrills he got when singing the great classic hymns.
And I still get thrills in my heart and my body as I ask the people to sing, "All hail the power of Jesus' name," or to lift their voice in singing "Our God is an Awesome God." Some of the new contemporary songs that are wonderful, but the great hymns of faith, which are Billy's favorite, are the ones that we still enjoy and use the most in our crusade.
Barrows, who was in hospice in Charlotte, died Tuesday of complications associated with old age. Coming up, sex trafficking in America's heartland. See how members of one Kansas City church are running to stop sex slavery after this. Germany is cracking down on Islamic radicals. Hundreds of police officers there searched over 200 offices, mosques, and apartments for supporters of the True Religion group on Tuesday. The group is known for giving out free copies of the Quran across the country. A German news agency reports the police raids took place in Western Germany and Berlin. The organization reportedly glorifies jihad and helps send people to Syria to fight with the Islamic State. Operation Blessing is helping people who were used as sex slaves by ISIS. 2 years ago, ISIS attacked Christian and Yazidi minorities in Iraq. They captured a young woman and her 4 children and killed her husband. She was sold multiple times as a sex slave among ISIS fighters, and her 9-year-old daughter was abused by a Saudi man for many weeks. But the mother kept track of her children while in captivity, and they all eventually escaped. Operation Blessing is helping her and 110 other women and girls who are former ISIS sex slaves with food, supplies, and other resources. Well, it's not just happening in Iraq. In fact, more than 40 million people are victims of some type of slavery. An estimated 12 million of them are children. Many Americans see this as an international problem, but sex trafficking is a major and heartbreaking problem right here in the U.S., and that's leading churches to fight back in some unique ways. Take a look.
When I first heard about the whole concept of human trafficking, that a child literally would be sold for sex, my heart broke.
The harsh reality of it happening in his city forced this pastor to take action.
The scripture says that we must rescue the perishing, we must hold back those going to slaughter, we must speak up for the defenseless, the widow, the orphan.
Pastor Philip O'Reilly's answer to that challenge is called Run to Stop It. The annual event encourages his church, the Rock of KC, to use the city's 5K and half marathons as a way to spread awareness and raise money to fight human trafficking.
We've got people who were never runners before that are now running. We have one guy that didn't run, and now he's doing like 30-mile runs and longer. It's pretty amazing.
Also impressive, the amount of money raised for the cause.
We were able to give him a check, Exodus Cry, a check for $100,000. It was awesome.
The Rock of KC partnered with Exodus Cry because of its commitment to help abolish slavery through Christ-centered prevention, intervention, and holistic restoration.
We used to say there was 27 million people in slavery today, and a recent statistic that came out said, well, it's actually more like 46 million. And so the numbers, I mean, who can know? I mean, there's a cultural phenomenon.
Exodus Cry President Benjamin Nolo says traffickers use metro areas like Kansas City as major hubs for their operations.
There was a trafficking ring busted right here in our backyard. 16 massage parlors were shut down because it was a Chinese trafficking ring bringing girls through. So there are all kinds of different expressions of trafficking happening right here in the midst of the Bible Belt amongst the mega churches and everything else.
That's why Nolo's group infiltrates those places to find victims held in bondage. All the more reason why the Rock of KC and its members run to stop it.
When I run, oftentimes I think about what I'm running for. And so yeah, it gives you motivation.
First of all, we want to stop the slavery itself. But then secondly, we want to restore those who have been affected by the slavery. So it's not just, hey, let's stop it and okay, you're free, but it's stop it and hey, let's work the inside issues out. Let's restore you to, your God-given gifts in life.
It's grueling. I've done the half marathon, so the 13 miles, and the training for it just is terrible when you're you're running down the road and you want to stop. But that's what I think about is I'm not going through half the amount of pain that these girls are probably going through right now.
While Nolo is grateful for support, he says more than one congregation needs to join the fight.
And I just thank God for Rock of KC Church because they've been awakened to this. They see it and they're like, you know, we can't just do nothing about this. And they've really put all their chips in, so to speak, to really commit themselves to make a difference in this issue. And that's so huge. We need the local church to step up like that for us to be able to eradicate this injustice.
We've got to put a stop to this. We've got to say enough. We've got to say not in our city, not in our nation, not in our world. We've got to stand up and tell the darkness, you aren't going to keep doing this without a fight.
And prayerfully, more and more congregations will step up to the plate to help fight sex trafficking. Well, up next, from clueless to conservative, Stacey Dash opens up about the pivotal moment that changed the course of her life. Stacey Dash became a Hollywood darling in the 1990s after starring in the hit movie Clueless. But it all changed in a flash in 2012 with just one message on the internet when she supported the Republican candidate for president, Mitt Romney. And in her own words, her whole life changed. Jenna Browder brings us her story.
Hang with us. It's a line Stacey Dash knows well, a fan favorite in Clueless.
Well, there goes your social life.
And now the inspiration behind the title of her new book. Why the title?
Well, because when I came out as a conservative, I basically lost a lot of friends, family, and got ostracized in Hollywood.
And it all started with one tweet. Vote for Romney, the only choice for your future.
One tweet. And the next day, my whole life changed.
Twitter went crazy, then the media quickly caught on, asking why would a black actress in liberal Hollywood endorse a conservative candidate?
You know, I've taken a lot of arrows, and a lot of people have told me keep my mouth shut or I won't work again. And I just say no. I won't be scared into submission.
Stacey says her political beliefs come from her life experiences.
I wrote the book because I believe that people think I'm Dion, that I was born in Beverly Hills with a silver spoon in my mouth.
But that was not the case. Stacey grew up in a rough New York City neighborhood and was no stranger to the hard knocks life.
I was born to two drug-addicted parents in the South Bronx, and my life was not easy. It was not easy.
You write about a lot in the book. What are some things that stick out?
My mother offered me cocaine, the abusive relationships, almost aborting my son. Thank God I didn't. I mean, I think about that all the time.
Stacey says God stopped her at the last minute. I mean, you were in the doctor's office.
I was there on the abortion table. I was so far along, they had to put me under, so I had the IV in my arm. And I was crying. And at this point in my life, I'd forgotten about God. I'd stopped talking to him.
Stuck in a broken relationship and doing drugs, she was in no place to have a baby.
And so I cried out to God, and I said, you have to tell me what to do. I don't want to sign. You've got to tell me what to do.
And he did.
He said to me, Stacey, keep your son. He even told me it was a boy.
Stacey got up and ripped out the IV, but before she left, her doctor did a sonogram.
And I just saw my son's little pea-sized heartbeat inside of me. And I just thought, Stacey, how could you have considered taking this life that God has given you? It's part of you. He's you.
Today, her son Austin is 25, her daughter Lola 13, and Stacey drug-free since that day. But there were still more struggles. You tell a striking story about one ex-boyfriend.
He'd been stalking us for 3 years, and so I finally got a gun. I had to move, literally. I can't even tell you how many times.
And she wasn't afraid to use her gun.
He found us, kicked the door in off the hinges, beat me up. My son was asleep upstairs, and I ran upstairs. I got my gun, I loaded it, and I came down the stairs shooting, and he was coming up the stairs. I missed, thank God, but he got the message, and he never came back.
As an outspoken supporter of the Second Amendment, some of Stacey's words often land her in hot water. She also recently took heat for comments about getting rid of Black History Month and the BET Awards.
I cannot wait to help my people out. Happy Black History Month.
In the book, Stacey talks about more abusive relationships and being mistreated by men, doing it Stacey's way. Turn a page, and now you're doing it God's way.
Yeah. It was after a bad breakup, and I was in a bad place. And I had my 2 children, and, I was not doing well. And I just finally literally fell to my knees, hysterical, and said, God, I can't do it. You got to help me. I surrender. And from that moment forward, things started happening.
That's when she got the courage to send the now famous tweet. And just as she reached the bottom of her bank account, offers started coming in.
You are a Black American and you are a conservative.
Today, Stacey regularly appears on shows like Outnumbered and Hannity as a Fox News contributor. She gives all of the credit to God.
I have to remind myself every day, surrender, surrender, stop.
So what's next?
I have to realize that God is the only one that can have control of my life, because I don't know where he's taking me. Only he knows. So I have to trust.
She knows he was faithful then.
Dee, don't you want to use your popularity for a good cause? No.
And he'll be faithful now. Jenna Browder, CBN News.
In health news, if you'd like to give your health a boost with just one drink, try green tea. Green tea contains powerful antioxidants, and Newsmax Health points out it has shown benefits in different areas as we age. For example, 3 cups of tea can cut your risk of fractures. It can also keep your eyes strong and help against Alzheimer's. And men who took 3 200-milligram capsules of green tea daily cut their risk of prostate cancer by 90%. Green tea also regulates blood sugar, so it can prevent diabetes. Well, that's it for now on CBN NewsWatch. We'll hope you join us next time. Have a great day, everybody, and God bless you.